All right. Okay, everybody, thank you. Anybody who's watching from home, welcome. We're going to have our annual general meeting here at the WCA, so thank you for joining us. Just to get started, I just want to welcome our counselor from Ward 5, Kelly Galloway-Sielak. Thank you for joining us. Really excited to be here just to summarize some of the work we've done over the last year and do some business. So thank you for those of you who support the association and everything we do. Especially a big thank you to the board, to the City of Kitchener, to Shannon for all their support and making sure that we can keep operating and doing the things we want to do, which is supporting and building relationships in the community. So before we get started, Kelly, anything you'd like to say or?
Yes.
Sure.
Always.
Awesome.
Always.
I figured you would, so I figured I'd just give you some space.
Yeah, no, just a couple things. First, I want to start off by thanking the board. Our association runs really, really well because of the volunteers and the board. That you guys work tirelessly to make this work for our community. So thank you very much for all your effort. And Laura, for all the work that you do to make the association run smoothly as well. Thank you. And then also to Shannon and the staff at the community center. Thanks for being there for the Williamsburg Community Association and making our community thrive. So thank you very much. I'll pass that on to the staff. I do, if you don't mind, I have a couple updates.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not probably news to you guys, but they're really exciting news.
Mm-hmm.
So we just, in committee meetings on Monday, we passed the aquatic center and the indoor turf field at RBJ Schlegel Park to be constructed for 2025. Mm-hmm. And it is a net zero building, so we're pretty excited about that. That is a huge asset for our community, and that's wonderful. There will be ongoing construction on Fisher Holman Road for a number of years still. So have your patience. There's a couple roundabouts going to be built this year, and then there's still the road widening. So there is work to be done, and it will take a couple of years still. So be prepared for that. We all know the Southwest Branch Library is coming. Timing isn't working as well in their favor. So we're looking probably end of 2023, beginning of 2024 at this point. So it's a little bit delayed. We're hoping that when the tender goes out, it actually comes in on budget because all the construction costs right now have increased so much. So we're hoping it comes in on budget. And then an important piece for this association is, and I bring it up just because it's the annual general meeting and Shannon may be able to pipe in too, is the actual Williamsburg Community Center is still in the capital forecast. It's still planned. The school has their funding, but the community center can only go when the school is ready to go. So we're on the school board's timeline, but it's an important piece for the association and for this area. So money's still in the forecast. You don't have to worry about that, but now it's all about timing. And that's my update, unless anyone has any questions for me. Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much, Kelly. And a big thank you to Kelly for all the work she's done over the years. Kelly will not be running again in the next election. And so we want to definitely pass on our thanks for all of the work she's done over the years. Definitely has been formational in a lot of the work that we've been doing over the last, I don't even know how many years.
It'll be 16.
16 years, yeah. So Kelly has been an incredible part of forming this community and providing leadership and support through all of this. So a huge thank you to Kelly and all the work she's done. And I'm sure you won't be a stranger. So we'll get updates from you even if you're not officially passed.
I'll be around.
There you go. Yeah, still a resident, still a big part of the community. So I appreciate that. Yeah, we might come recruiting in a little bit once you've had some downtime.
We'll see what life brings.
There you go.
Never know.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kelly. Yeah. All right, we'll now move on to our next item, which is our program manager's report. As Kelly mentioned, Laura's been a huge part of continuing to help us operate as an organization. And so you can review the report here. We'll also be able to post it later. But Laura, is there anything you wanted to say on behalf of your report?
No, I mean, it was an interesting year, again, through COVID, but we managed to get some programs out in person, which the community very much appreciated. Yeah, it's not in front of me.
That's fine. You don't have to like do a summary.
Yeah, it's all in there, and I encourage everyone, if they haven't already seen the video, that sort of all the neighbors sent in pictures, and it's kind of a nice recap of what it was like in Williamsburg during COVID.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Yeah, with Laura's report submitted, I'll look for a motion from the board to accept Laura's report into the record.
I'll pass that motion.
Frank, sponsored. Can I get a second, please? Sandra, any comments or questions about the report for the record? No? Okay, all in favor? All right, the report's accepted. All right, next thing we'll move on to is a report from the financial report from the treasurer. Frank, do you want to speak to that?
Sure. Not a lot going on from a 2021 perspective. We did operate at a loss, which we were probably expecting anyways, just because we weren't doing as much programming, but not a significant loss. So we're looking at an operating loss of just over $3,400, which isn't too bad. And we do have that money in our savings. So there's just a motion to transfer that amount to offset the deficit. So I will move that motion as the treasurer. I just need somebody to second it. It's written right there for you. It's easy. There you go.
Jenna's going to second that motion. Any questions or comments for Frank for that motion specifically?
Frank, what was the amount again?
$3,457.84.
Awesome. Any other comments or questions? All right. Can I get a motion on, or sorry, all in favor on that motion? All right, motion carries.
So just some notes there. I did comment just with COVID-19, and it also a big comment that we did change banking institutions in 2021. Things have allowed us to particularly pay instructors and e-transfers much smoother for those who are submitting receipts. I know some of our vendors are like, wow, we get it instantaneously. That's how it works in the 21st century. You submit a receipt and we pay within an hour sometimes, right, Sandra?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was.
So I think that's exciting. But it will make it easier for us just to manage how we go through that. And we just have some final stuff to wrap up with Libro. The other part I've attached is the budget for 2022. One of the things I will recommend moving forward is we should be doing this in probably November and not waiting till our AGM, because we're already into a couple months since our fiscal end is December 31st. So just for the notes that if we try to plan that for November would be great, because really it's an estimate at that part.
Right.
Right now we are looking at a potential profit if we stay on track. It is kind of tricky to play as we do adjust as we go through the year. But I think our session that I forget how Laura called it. How did you call the winter?
Wintering?
Wintering, I think was a huge success. And I think our summer programming and getting into a full swing by fall will definitely assist us. So this is just based upon what we project and what we try to think at that part. So really just, I will move that we approve the 2022 budget with a projected profit of $1,050, moved by me.
Excellent. Can I get a seconder on that?
Can I second?
Yeah, Ryan?
Yep.
Awesome. Any other comments or questions about the budget motion? It's on the floor. No? Okay, all in favor of accepting the budget for 2022? Awesome, motion passes, thank you. And last, I'll get a motion on the floor to accept Frank's report or the treasurer's report as submitted for the record.
I'll move that motion.
Okay, Frank will also sponsor that motion. And Sandra, are you seconding it then, I'm guessing, based on your enthusiasm?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, any other comments or questions for the record for the treasurer's report? No? All right then, all in favor? Thank you. That motion passes as well.
I did want to thank, just before we go on, just thank Shannon and the city for their financial department. Has been very helpful.
Oh.
Because we are getting our money directly, but I've also been able to pay our statements back the other way. So no checks transferring hands. I did that yesterday with some statements we had. So that was kind of nice too. The city's been very helpful that way.
That's great.
Yeah, no paper, which is amazing.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
It's amazing what you can do in this
Amazing.
day and age.
So,
Yeah, and I also want to pass on my thanks to Frank. The move on the banking side of things, especially, has been a significant amount of work.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you.
So,
Frank.
and
Thank you,
is
Frank.
definitely going to make things way easier in general going forward. So thank you so much, Frank, for all that work. It's definitely going to
pay us.
No financial puns intended.
That's
pay
right.
dividends.
That's
in the
right.
future. So thank you so much for that. All right, the next item on our agenda is our board terms for 2022. So you'll have a sheet in front of you here of 4 board members and their terms. I'll put one correction in, which is I put Jenna's name in with 1 N instead of 2. My apologies, Jenna. So with the exception of that very small spelling error,
You
That we
spelled
don't-
my last name right and not Jenna's name.
Probably copy and paste.
It's true. One is copy and pasted, one was typed out. Without that, with the exception of that amendment, we've got Jenna, Maria, Ryan, and Sandra continuing to serve on the board. Jenna, Ryan are joining the board officially after provisional terms. Maria is extending her term out for 2 years, and Sandra for an additional year.
So I thought I said 2,
Oh, so quickly put that down.
There you go.
which is fine.
We
And
can
then
add
when
that
I saw
down.
this, I was like, oh, I feel like we also remember we didn't want everyone to end at the same time.
Yes.
So so should I just stay for a year and then?
It's up to you. We do have myself, Christine, and Frank due next year, so we are pretty nicely spread, but it's really,
Okay.
so it's really your decision. If you want to do 2, you can go for 2.
Put it up.
All right. So we'll
What's gonna happen?
amend this term for Sandra for 2 years, ending in May of 2024. So
Okay.
I will ask for a motion from the board to accept these board terms going forward from this
Let's
AGM.
stay.
Anybody? Sandra, can I get a second, please?
Oh, sir.
Ryan? Right, any comments or questions about these terms or any other changes we need to make? No? All in favor then? All right, that motion carries as well. Excellent, thank you so much for your willingness to serve on the board. And then our last item here is anybody who's put their name forward for officers' roles. And so I'm going to, as I am currently sitting as an officer and will be standing for president again next year, I have asked Shannon to manage that vote on our behalf.
What are we doing?
Sorry, for the officers' roles,
Officers.
the officers' nominations. So did anybody else reach out to you?
No.
Okay, so in that situation, so Frank, I believe, did you?
Frank said he'd stay on his.
I'd stay on as treasurer.
So Frank is
But
willing
I
to stay
didn't
on as
see your name on
treasurer.
there, I was
Christine has mentioned in the past verbally that she is willing to stay on as vice president. I'm willing to serve again as president. We are still looking for a secretary.
Are we though?
Are we? Fine.
Okay.
That was a lot of twisting, eh?
No,
Wow.
no,
This is what happened last time.
Well, that's how you can.
Yeah,
Why'd
It
you take it
doesn't
off?
happen.
I get here like I forgot my notebook. Like I'm not the person for that job.
Nicely played.
All right. Okay, so with that in mind, then all of the officers' roles do have names standing for them.
Writing it on my hand. Okay,
And so if there's nobody running in opposition to those roles,
Anybody
we
want
could
it?
just take a motion to acclimate everybody into those roles as stated. So Shannon has volunteered to collect those names. So Shannon, if you could read out the names and the roles that people are
Fantastic.
standing for.
Yeah, so Frank is standing for treasurer, Christine is standing for vice president, Tom is remaining in position of president, and Jenna has graciously accepted secretary.
Enthusiastically.
Enthusiastically.
That's awesome. All right. Can I have a motion from the board to accept the names as read as officers in these roles? Serving for the 22-23 year, or 22 year, sorry. Okay, Ryan? Can I have a seconder? Jenna? Nice. All right. Any comments or questions about those officers nominations? No? All right. I have a vote. All in favor for the officers' names as stands? I don't actually get to vote, but I vote for them. Bad neutral chair.
All in favor.
Okay, excellent. All right. Thank you very much for serving in those roles. We appreciate it. Jenna will buy you a notebook, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, we have 2 minutes.
There you
We have
go.
2 Chromebooks, so
That's
you can
true.
have a Chromebook.
There you go. You could have the secretary's Chromebook.
We should have presented that first. That would have
Yeah.
enticed.
Oh, I didn't need to, she's in it.
I
As
was
a
typing notes
motivator.
at work.
There you go. Awesome. All right. That's great. With that, the agenda is concluded as stands. Unless anybody has any other additional business, I will move to have the AGM wrapped up. I can't remember what the official word is. My brain is dying.
Adjourned.
Adjourned. Thank you. I knew it started with an A. I just kept wanting to say agenda over and over again, which doesn't make any sense. So, all right. I will move to adjourn our AGM. All in favor? Good job. All right. We're done. Great.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Anyone, anybody?
Do what the news does. You gotta tap your papers. That's all the